In the dusty village of Umokoro, where red earth clung stubbornly to bare feet and poverty sat like an unwanted guest in every home, a boy named Chinaza dared to dream differently. From childhood, while others chased goats and carved toy cars from firewood, Chinaza chased a vision. He would sit beneath the old mango tree and whisper to himself, "One day, I will be rich. I will drive big cars. I will build my mother a house with shining tiles." But dreams do not silence empty stomachs. Chinaza grew up poor, painfully poor. His clothes were always slightly faded, his sandals always slightly worn. And as he grew into a young man, the weight of his poverty pressed harder, especially through the sharp tongue of his girlfriend, Chiemeri. "You have big dreams but empty pockets," she would say whenever he failed to buy her something fancy. "Dreams don't pay bills, Chinaza." Her words stung more than hunger. One blazing afternoon, as fate would have it, Chinaza ran into Emeka, his childhood friend who had once shared roasted corn and barefoot races with him. But Emeka was no longer the thin village boy he remembered. He stepped out of a sleek black car, gold wristwatch glinting in the sun, confidence dripping from every move. "Chinaza, is that you?" Emeka laughed, pulling him into a hug. Their friendship rekindled quickly. They met often. Emeka paid bills effortlessly. Expensive drinks, designer clothes, a life Chinaza could only dream of. One evening, unable to hold it in any longer, Chinaza asked quietly, "Emeka, what do you do?" Emeka's smile faded. The air shifted. "Are you sure you want to know?" That night, in a dimly lit room, Emeka confessed. His wealth, he said, came from rituals. Chinaza laughed at first. It had to be a joke. But when he saw the seriousness in Emeka's eyes, laughter died in his throat. For weeks, Chinaza wrestled with himself, his mother's worn-out wrapper, Chiemeri's constant complaints, his own shame, and Emeka's shining car. Finally, temptation won. They visited a native doctor deep in the forest, a man with piercing eyes and a voice like dry leaves scraping together. After chanting and throwing cowries, the native doctor spoke. "For wealth," he said slowly, "you must perform a simple act. You must lie with a mad woman." Chinaza recoiled. "Never." But Emeka placed a steady hand on his shoulder. "It's small. Mine was worse." The thought of remaining poor terrified him more than the act itself. That night, Chinaza crossed a line he could never uncross. The next morning, everything changed. Money flowed into his bank account from a mysterious business deal. Opportunities appeared out of thin air. Within weeks, he owned cars, houses, and businesses. The village buzzed with his name. Chiemeri, once critical, became affectionate and proud. She never once asked how he rose so quickly. But wealth born in darkness cast long shadows. One Sunday, as Chinaza stepped out of his car in town, a pastor approached him. "My son," the man said gently, "there is a darkness around you. Come to Christ before it swallows you." Chinaza brushed him off, but the words lingered. A year passed. Then the call came. The native doctor's voice was colder than before. "To renew your wealth, you must sacrifice your mother. Refuse, and you will lose everything. You will run mad." Chinaza's world shattered. He stopped sleeping. Every time he closed his eyes, he saw his mother, the woman who had starved so he could eat. He told Chiemeri. The next morning, her bags were packed. "I can't be part of this," she said, fear replacing affection. She left without looking back. Desperate, Chinaza called Emeka. "It's nothing," Emeka insisted. "Do it. Wealth demands payment." But this time, something inside Chinaza refused. Instead, he called the pastor. What followed was not visible to the ordinary eye. Nights of intense prayer, confrontations heavy with unseen forces. The pastor declared freedom over Chinaza's life and broke every covenant made in darkness. The battle was fierce, but light prevailed. The wealth vanished overnight. Cars gone, accounts empty, businesses collapsed. Yet Chinaza did not run mad. He wept, but this time from relief. He began again from nothing, but with peace in his heart. He walked honestly, slowly rebuilding through diligence and faith. A devoted woman from his church stood by him through the storm, quiet, prayerful, strong. 3 years later, Chinaza's legitimate business flourished beyond expectation. Investors trusted him, customers respected him. His wealth returned, clean and undeniable. He married the woman who had prayed with him through the storm. One afternoon, as he stepped out of his office, he saw a familiar face, Chimeri. Tears filled her eyes. "Forgive me," she whispered. "I was foolish." Chinaza looked at her, not with anger, but with calm understanding. "Some doors close for a reason," he said gently. He got into his car and drove home, to a house built not on blood or fear, but on faith. And in Umokoro, people still tell the story of the boy who wanted to be rich. But now they tell it differently. They say, be careful what price you are willing to pay for your dream.